Hey guys, welcome to JasonWhiskyWise, with myself, Jason, bringing you whiskey review number 70, where today we're going to review a Glengoyne, another one in the Glengoyne range, which I'm reviewing, which is the Glengoyne 18. So hopefully you can see that, but if not, ping a bottle just over there so you can check it out. Now, the Glengoyne 18 is, I believe, the fourth whiskey I'm reviewing tonight, which will be, I'm doing the whole range from the 10 all the way up to the 25. So you see my comparative sort of notes between all the whiskies. And today I'm actually flying out to Scotland, so as this video is going live, I hopefully should be in Scotland. If not, I don't know what I'm doing. So you'll see that on Twitter. So be sure to check out Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. More or less my Instagram and my Twitter, because I'll be tweeting a lot of stuff. And on Instagram, you will see my story, because I will literally make a story of everything. So, we'll pour ourselves the rest of the 18. Ooh, and begin the whiskey review. So that is another heel slate. The 15 down, and now the 18. So, in terms of my whiskey review style structure, this whiskey, starting off with the age, is an 18-year-old whiskey. It is bottled at an ABV of 43% ABV. The cask selection in this one are 35% first fill European sherry oak casks. Then you've got 15% first fill American oak cask, and then the remaining 50% is in refill oak cask. Now this is where the whole range slightly differs, and I will show you that in my Glengoyne video where I speak about the range and talk about the distillery as well. Now that will be, I believe, coming out on Monday, so this should be going live on Thursday. So, in terms of the distillery, it is the Glengoyne Distillery, which you can see over there. They're owned by their parent company, Ian McLeod Distillers, and they are located in the Highlands of Scotland. If you don't know where that is, it's just 40 minutes drive from Glasgow. So it's actually more or less closer to the lowlands, but just in the Highlands, so to speak. Now the price point on that bottle, you're looking at £76 to £80 for the full-size bottle, which is your going price nowadays for 18-year-old whiskey. And in terms of exclusivity, no, it is not exclusive. It is available everywhere. It's part of the core range, and it is a staple from the Glengoyne. Now, in terms of the caramel colouring, if it's added to this whiskey, this is all natural whiskey. Glengoyne don't like to add that to the whiskey, and I think that's something superb about them. They don't like to add any caramel to the whiskey. So, I'm actually going to put that over here, because I know at some point that's going to get flicked or fidgeted with. So, let's begin by assessing the colour on the whiskey. I know myself too well. It's got a nice, slightly darker coppery note, and I'm going to go maybe a little bit of an amber. Actually, I know I said copper amber. Let's go with a copper amber on this one. And if you've got a dram of this, sit at home and pour yourself a dram, and we can dram to this as well. So, you can dram with me as well on this video. So, let's begin by assessing the nose. So, into the nose. So, my first impressions on the nose for the 18 Glengoyne. This one's got those apples are back again. This is definitely a house style from Glengoyne, but this is not green apples like I found with the 10, the 12, the 15. This is red apples, and these are very nice, sort of like a basket of red apples, and this is Royal Gala apples. I've been eating a lot of different apples after, I've been doing the reviews, just trying to find that exact one to pinpoint, and I'm thinking Royal Gala, and it's sort of a basket of them. The aromas, very nice, giving off that fresh, nice fruity scent. I'm getting a little bit of ripe pineapples as well behind that on the back, and a little bit also of dried lemon peel. Now this is very interesting because it's like a slightly even toasted lemon peel, but I'd say it's more towards being left for a little while, and it's sort of shriveling and it's drying up. So quite a nice, inviting nose, a lot of depth as well behind it with that bit of pineapple, quite exotic. A little bit also, picking this up on more on this side is a little bit of a ripe bananas, and if you go past the banana aisle when you're going shopping and you get a lot of those ripe bananas and you just get that sort of whiff of the aroma of that, reminds me of that. This is not, well actually probably not even ripe. A little bit raw bananas. This is like raw bananas on the nose, quite, quite distinctive. Very sort of tropical notes. I'm getting that pineapple before, the ripe pineapple and a bit of raw banana. Very interesting notes on the nose. A little bit also of honey malt with a little bit of sweetness and that malty character as well. And then a little spice, a dash of cinnamon on there. And a soft white peppery note which just works its way through, more towards the back of the nose. but it's not so much. It's not overpowering. And then you're getting a little bit, it's got a little tingling the upper bit of my nose over here, the little bridge part over there, and then you're getting a little bit of, reminds me of brown sugar, muscovado. That's it, muscovado brown sugar. Quite sweet and sort of as if it's almost melting in a pan. So, all in all, really, really nice nose. Quite a lot of character in the 18, much more than the 10 to 15. You can definitely see that 35% of that first fill European sherry oak working its way through. So let's move into the palate and see what we can find on that. So, to begin on the palate of this whiskey, it does have a lot of spices that begin. It opens its profile with these spices. A combination of them working together. The texture is quite medium. It's more, I'd say medium, but more towards medium than full. So I'd say medium full, but more medium. Begin with the spices. You're talking sort of soft clove, a little bit of black pepper, nutmeg, and a little bit of allspice as well. I'm getting a little citrusy note, and this is lemon and grapefruit peel combined together. A little bit of even spiced apple, maybe stewed spiced apple, working its way on the back. Not really so much on the front. A little bit of an apricot jam, quite sweet, rounded, a little bit chewy. It's got a little bit of a texture of an apricot in there. I'm gonna have another sip, really find out what the note is, because it's just nagging me a little bit. So from the second sip, I did take my time with this one. Let it sit out for a bit on my palate. I get that nice chewy apricots, but I said a jam note before, probably apricot jam with apricot parts or apricot bits inside. Oh, and this one's evolving. It's evolving very nicely. It's like walnut caramel pie with like a chocolate brownie, a warm chocolate brownie. It's making my mouth water. Woo! And then right behind that, you're getting, well, actually no, you're getting like vanilla ice cream, like literally a dollop of that on that chocolate brownie, and the combination of the two working together. So delicious. And then you're getting a little bit of that walnut pie, giving that little nutty, sweeter. Oh, this is really good. So, moving to the finish. I don't really want to go to the finish just yet, but for the sake of the video, we have to, so into the finish. So, into the finish of this whiskey, in terms of the finish duration, I'd say it's more towards a medium, sort of medium full, but more medium. A nice concentration on the palate of a rich cocoa note. A little dryness, which sort of develops a little bit longer, a little bit of raisins, vanilla oak, a little bit of dry fruit as well, but a little citrusy zing with that character sort of working its way through. And I'm getting those walnuts coming back through. A little bit of a nutty note as well. But they sort of fade and make way for the sort of softer, sweeter, fruitier notes, which work their way on the end of the palate. So in terms of that, I'm going to give my overall comments and my rating. This one's a very easy one. I'm going to give it an 89 out of 100. Really, really easy whiskey. Fantastic in terms of taste. In terms of depth, complexity. For many 18-year-old whiskeys I've tried, I just really love the character in the style. Really nice fruity note. And if you are dramming to this at home, or if you've got a dram, or you've got a bottle, or your friend's got a bottle, if you get to try this one, keep it on your palate for that little bit longer. You really get the distinctive caramel walnut pie, which is so nice. And then afterwards, when I got that cocoa chocolatey note, it sort of reminded me of a chocolate brownie. And a little bit of vanilla sort of just shocks your palate, and I thought that was like vanilla ice cream. It's just so, so great. I think I'm getting loads of desserts on this one. Not that I've been eating loads of desserts, but I don't mind doing that. But anyway, yeah, so I'm going to have a video on the actual distillery tour when I take that, hopefully today or tomorrow, because I'm in Scotland effectively at this point in time. Be sure to check out my social medias, as I said before. But in terms of my overall opinion on this whiskey, fantastic nose, fantastic palate. Finish was a little bit, I would have liked it to go on a bit longer, but then again, it's just how I am. I always like my whiskies to go on forever. But for their style, very nice, rich, chocolatey, a little bit note towards the palate and the finish. Not really so much on the nose. Nose is more those fruity notes. There's tropical fruits, the raw bananas, ripe pineapples, red apples, So quite a lot of combination of fruity characters, sweeter notes, really working themselves very well. In terms of time, I actually did this whiskey and I left it for 20 minutes and then tried my tasting notes the first time. Doesn't really do a big difference to the whiskey, in all honesty. In terms of also adding water, no real major effect. The only thing it does is reduce the spice aspect, which I got on the palate, on the entry. But in terms of value for money, fantastic. It's in that sort of, I will say it's the perfect value for money because it's not under 60 quid, but all 18-year-old whiskey is between 70 to 80 pounds. So it's in that perfect 18-year-old price bracket. So on that note, 89 out of 100. Let me know what you think of the Glengoyne 18-year-old. It's a superb whiskey in my eyes and one I could recommend, definitely. So if you haven't tried the 18-year-old Glengoyne, let me know your comments down below in the description. But on that note, I'm going to leave the video at that. Be sure to check out the 10, the 12, and the 15 over here. Or maybe the 12, 15... 21 over there. Might do that. And also be sure to hit the subscribe button as you can stay up to date, and also drop the video a like so you can stay up to date, and also hit the notification button so you'll know exactly when I post another video. I'm going for 250 videos this year, so it is going to be a busy year. So on that note, this has been JasonWhiskyWise, and I'll catch you all for the next video.